clicked on tweet.
Well, 3 o'clock. This is the time. Should we give it?
We did it on time.
Yeah.
Not late at all.
We are doing it. So that is great. So let me just see if there's anything people are asking.
Hi, Arizona.
Yeah, we should. I'm just tweeting.
Okay. This is you watching Andrea tweet live. This is pretty cool. She is crafting a tweet as we speak.
I am.
Right, I hear you. Yeah, it's great.
She's throwing in emojis. She's throwing in emojis.
Emojis take time.
She's raising the bar.
Emojis take time.
Things are getting crazy.
What's your favorite emoji, Jeremy? I can
I'll tell you what.
What's your favorite emoji?
My favorite emoji is the one that's like the guy. He's just unimpressed. He's like in a flat face. Like he's at the. I love that.
We're so opposite because my favorite one is the hands doing
Oh
this.
yeah, they're doing this. Yeah.
We have opposite emoji favorites. Interesting.
Well, it is good to see you guys. I guess we should officially get started. So for all of those who are joining us, and I know there'll be some people joining us live, there'll be some people who will be joining us after this is recorded and it won't be live. But for those of you who are live, nice to see you guys. My name is Ruth Hill, and with me today, I have two very special individuals, Jeremy Guilbaut and Andrea Brooks.
Hello. Hello. I'm so glad we got this to work. And before we officially start, I got Jeremy a little birthday present?
Yes, it was so sweet of her when I got here for the so let's just pull it up here. And I think I'm gonna enjoy this on camera with you guys, because here's the gift that Andrew got me. So were you guys cool having a glass of wine with us?
Oh.
Birthday boy.
Can't say no to the birthday boy. This is live. Anything can happen.
That's right.
So we're just gonna set it up like this just before we get started.
Yeah, sure.
I'm seeing happy faces and clapping, so
Are people enjoying this?
I hope so.
Don't worry, this is only our 5th glass here. So that's I'm joking. There we go.
Okay.
Cheers, thank you.
Cheers, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Cheers, Ruth.
Cheers, Ruth.
Happy
Cheers,
birthday,
everyone.
With us.
And we actually all should sing to Jeremy. I think that would be a good.
No,
Because if we all sing, that would just be me singing.
Yeah, that is.
Me and you.
Well, actually, on second thought, that does sound like a good idea.
No.
Well, happy birthday, Jeremy. I'm glad that you and Andrea were able to join us, and on a special day also, because we have a special premiere coming up, at least for those of us in the U.S. who are able to get the Hallmark channel. Special premiere coming up tomorrow evening. Destination Wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We hope everybody comes and watches it, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I believe you guys will be live tweeting, is what I understand.
We'll be on Twitter. We'll be there.
Yeah.
That'll be good. That'll be good.
Yeah.
So I know that I've interviewed both of you about, well, When Calls the Heart, of course. We have that.
Yeah.
And I know that I got to talk to Jeremy. I interviewed Jeremy when he was down in Mexico. He was having a great time down in Mexico.
Yep.
And so he told us a little bit about Destination Wedding. But if you two could tell us a little bit about your characters in Destination Wedding and how those characters figure into the story without giving too much away, of course.
Yeah. So basically, the gist of it is 2 people are getting married. Andrea, who plays Mandy? There's a marriage. There's a marriage happening, and it's a destination wedding. They're getting married in Acapulco. I think we've established that a few times.
Yeah.
On our Twitter and our Instagram. I don't know if you guys noticed that. We were in Acapulco filming this. But yeah, and then they're gonna get married, and then they leave my character Greg and Alexa's Vegas character high and dry by not showing up to get married.
Right.
And then we have to scramble, and we will see what happens, tomorrow, how that all shakes out. But she's my ex-girlfriend, and we left, on uncertain terms. The last time we saw each other, it wasn't great. So
yes.
now then we're forced into the same resort to try to put out fires, so to speak.
I guess you could say it's kind of what happens when wedding planning goes awry at the very last minute.
Yeah.
So you'll see a lot of scrambling, kind of like us when we were trying to set up this interview.
Yeah, a lot like that.
Yeah. And then there's a lot of good characters and a lot of funny moments that happen in trying to save the day.
Yeah. We'll just have to see what happens.
Okay. All right. And I think, Jeremy, I believe this is your first lead role for Hallmark. Isn't that correct? Like it's your first big.
Yeah. In a Hallmark movie. Yeah. This is the first one. So hopefully I did okay. We'll see.
Oh, I think you did great.
Oh, thank you.
Right.
No, it was really fun. I mean, it was a great, I mean, it was just such a, just an easy experience too down in Mexico. Everything was just ran so smoothly. The crew, everybody working together was like, everybody was just living together basically in this resort. So everybody got close really fast. So that was really one of the highlights of the whole thing. You know, you were kind of forced to meet everybody and hang out. You saw them every day. We went to breakfast every day.
Yeah,
lunch,
it was kind of like a dorm experience. You know, when you go to college and everyone's on the same floor and we were all like, oh, do you have sunscreen? Do you have this? So we were all kind of going to each other's rooms and going to bed, waking up, being there because we were shooting where we were living essentially.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a really awesome communal experience.
Well, let alone the fact that in Vancouver, when we're filming here, we like Andrea and I, when I live not too far from where we both live downtown, we have to wake up at like 6 a.m. to drive out to Langley, which is an hour outside of town every day. And it's snowing. This was wake up and go down 4 floors.
Yeah. Well, you had to go down first. See, I was right next to
she was
wake
actually
up.
right next to it.
So I would wake up 1 minute before my call time and just like roll out of bed, walk 10 steps, and I was at work.
She was literally next door to the makeup, like the door, the next room. She could just like, that's why you just didn't even need an alarm. You just like hear them like starting and you just roll and go.
Roll over.
That was a good setup.
It was so fun.
It's totally like summer camp. It really was. And it was, and there was it was totally like summer camp. Sneaking out, you know.
It's true. Yeah. There's a band downstairs, so you're like, I'm gonna get a good sleep. Actually, I'm gonna go downstairs and see what's going on.
You guys, she was closer to the band, so she kept hearing those. So they played the same songs over and over.
They did
that was
the same
fun.
songs over and over again.
They played in the bar. What was the one? Yesterday by the Beatles. We literally heard that. I would say.
Oh my gosh, like 16 times a night.
Yeah, like at least over 100 times.
Yeah.
Like they had on the same CD. I don't know what they had. They had like the same CD from like whatever it was. Somebody had put that mix together, and then when they opened up the bar, and it had just been in that CD player the whole time.
It's true.
But it was still fun.
It was super fun.
So now every time I hear that song,
really?
I wistfully remember of Acapulco.
That's hilarious. Yes, yeah. There were a couple songs, but yesterday was the one that sticks out.
Okay, so I think you told us about a lot of the good things about Mexico. Was there anything that was maybe, not that it necessarily had to be negative, but was there something that was challenging about filming in Mexico?
I have an answer.
Yeah.
So a lot of us weren't used to the food and got sick. It wasn't terrible, but we kind of had a lingering sickness like with the crew and cast.
There was varying degrees throughout the cast.
There were varying degrees of illness.
Yeah.
I wasn't too bad, but enough to kind of be thrown a little bit. But I was having such a good time that it didn't really matter.
No, you weren't so bad.
I wasn't so bad.
There were a few other people. We don't have to name names. I was okay, but there was a few other people that baby friends of ours that weren't so good that had to take action to alleviate their pain, which they did, and then they were fine. And I'll let them tell you about that story.
Yeah.
If they want.
Varying degrees of sickness.
Yeah. There was some kind of like, getting Montezuma's revenge going through a little bit, but not to everybody, but just a few people.
Yeah,
so
that was different bacteria. We just weren't used to the food, I think is what it was. But it wasn't dire by any means. I mean, I was still at the pool every day.
Yes. Yeah. That didn't get in the way of pool time whatsoever.
No.
Okay. Well, that's good.
One thing I will say actually, now that I think about it, in terms of that was was more challenging. It wasn't bad.
Mm-hmm.
It was It was that when you're filming on the beach, it looks so amazing, obviously.
Right.
But it's like a wind tunnel, and I had these intimate scenes with Alexa. You'll see them in the movie, and see if you can see. Actually, I don't want to ruin that. That'll kind of ruin things. But there's sand like flying like sideways, like
gusts
this,
of
like gusts,
sand
and they would be
hitting
like,
your
well,
face.
yeah, we want the light like turn towards the sun to get the best lighting.
It's
You
true.
turn right into the wind, and it's like a sandstorm right in your face while you're saying the lines.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be like gazing into somebody's eyes,
Yeah,
you know, and it's just like, so that was a challenge. I will say that.
That's a good answer.
Definitely.
I don't know. I know that there's been some chat. Have there been any questions that have come up about anything?
Here's one. No sunburns.
Oh.
Well, you know what was funny is that we weren't allowed to tan while we weren't allowed to tan.
Right.
So because it would look different on camera.
Because
So-
they didn't want us to be dark in one scene and then pale in the other scene. So they just kind of told us flat out when we started, no tanning, stay out of the sun. So we brought our 60 sunscreen, and I am a very pale person. So anyway, I did my best to stay out. I think I got a little bit of color by the end. I was pretty careful.
Yeah, well, they would be, if they saw you kind of like, you would get scolded.
Yeah.
Like, where's that 50? And they would have it on them, all the makeup ladies, even the producers, she'd be like, where's the 50? Bring it over here. Like, so they'd be like armies of people around, like spraying us down, making sure that we don't get out.
Yeah.
I snuck out one time though and like got a little bit tan, and they noticed, and I was like, I got her to like.
They noticed?
Yeah, they noticed. She was like, well, look who's tan. And
Well,
then,
see, I'm so pale that the conversation was like, you look too pale on camera. So now they tried bronzing me up.
that's right.
as we were
That was a couple
filming.
people. You and Preston were like
Yeah,
both
we were
told
so
to like.
pale. So luckily that gave me a bit of leeway to get a bit of color, because we definitely were at the pool.
Yeah, we were at the pool a lot. It was awesome. There was like 5 pools there.
We weren't at the pool. We were
Right. Oh yeah, we weren't at the pool. We were working all the
working all the time.
time.
Yeah, right. I think we kind of know better on that one. I have a feeling. You did do a Periscope with us where I don't think there was a whole lot of work going on that day. But then again, that was probably your day off.
No.
What do you mean? That was work. We were working on Periscope. You know, we just happened to be drinking and eating at the same time.
In front of the beach.
Yeah, at the beach.
Right.
We were working that day. I can't remember if that was a day off or
No,
if
I
that was
think
just
we had-
after work.
Yeah, I think we had a day off. Yeah.
Okay.
I want to
Did
say
we
that was a
pull
day
pranks?
off because. Ooh.
Oh, I was just reading one of the questions. Did we pull pranks? I'm trying to think if we pulled any pranks.
Did we pull pranks?
Not like on
Like
purpose.
funny things happen, but yeah, I don't think there was any purposeful pranks.
Yeah, we're nice people. We're not going to try to, I'm not going to.
We're gonna ruin somebody's
No,
day.
I'm not going to ruin something.
Yeah, I'll have to think about that. If something comes to mind,
Yeah.
I'll tell you. I'm thinking.
So, without spoiling anything, are you able to tell us like what was there a favorite scene? I mean, you don't have to necessarily say what happened in the scene, but was there a favorite scene that you got to film?
I have one. Yeah, I know which one
Yeah.
for me. I have one which there's a scene where it's not going to ruin anything by talking about it, but it's the scene where Alexa and I have to we're like forced into like planning this wedding kind of and making choices, even though we're kind of at loggerheads. So we are tasked with choosing what the food we're going to choose, like which like items and like dishes. And so watch for that scene. That was probably my favorite. It's a lot of like bickering back and forth and like funny banter in that one. We had a great time filming that. That was a fun one. That was probably one of my favorite. But there was lots of great scenes.
I personally always like the group scenes. For me, my favorite scenes of anything are when everyone's there. So I always like that just because I love being around all the personalities. But my favorite scene happens very early on, actually the very beginning of the movie. And it's really surprising and exciting. And you'll get to see.
Oh,
It's
I
my
see.
favorite right off the top. You know what it is.
Yeah, I know what you're getting at. Yeah.
Okay.
So keep an eye out for those.
Yeah.
Now I know you mentioned that you guys had problems with food. I mean, some of you got sick with food, but was there a favorite food that you had while you were there?
So we were at a resort that had about 6 restaurants.
Yes.
Did I say about
Yeah,
6?
5 or 6. Yeah.
So we had some really nice dinners. We had some cast dinners. but I'm trying to remember the best food.
Well, I know mine. I know for me, it was like at that same bar, restaurant place that we did the Periscope on the water. They have like the ceviche, the kind of the Mayan style ceviche. That was my favorite.
Yeah.
That was really good.
I just remember we ended up getting burgers at the bar.
Like, oh yeah, the burgers
were so good.
Yeah.
And I was craving a burger. And
I'm sorry, that's totally, that was everybody loved those burgers.
That was the night when we took that swan video.
Yeah, the black swan video. She's like out of frame. The burger's on its way there.
Yes.
Actually, there was like 8 of us, and everybody ordered a burger because they were actually really good.
They were really good, and then we recommended them, and then we went back and had more burgers.
We told everybody about the burgers, and then they sold them out.
So it's kind of a shame to be in Mexico ordering burgers.
But well, come on, we did put in our time with eating. We ate a lot. We ate like all the food. But I would say, but other than that, yeah, the ceviche was really because it was like totally fresh. Like it was, you could tell everything that with the ingredients that was really good. Yeah. And it was cool because it's like basically on the beach. You saw the Periscope we did. We're basically on the beach, like on the sand is like right there. Yeah. In the ocean. So. Oh, so nice. Not too bad.
I want to go back.
Right. Let's see. Oh yes. So, how is the character that you're portraying in Destination Wedding? How is that character like you in real life, and how is that character unlike you?
Ooh, that's always a really hard question. I don't know. Do you have an answer?
No, I was trying to let you handle that one first, so I could take time to think of something.
Dang.
No, I think that my character has definitely similarities to me because it's playing a version of myself for sure. He can be fun and sarcastic and kind of a little bit argumentative, a little bit in a good way.
Are you saying you're argumentative?
Yeah, I can be argumentative, but in a fun way, I hope. And no, and then he also has kind of likes to have a sense of humor and laugh about things. But he's also, I think he's able to kind of segue into talking from the heart, being a Hallmark movie, quite quickly and quite successfully, more quickly than I would probably be able to do in real life, I would say. So, yeah, he can kind of really get down to the heart of things, so to speak, right away, quickly.
That's a good answer. Thinking of mine, my character in this movie is a little bit dippy. And so I know on Hallmark, like Nurse Faith is very sweet on When Calls the Heart. I've played other characters that are very type A. This one's kind of a fun little mix because she's kind of out there, a little bit spacey. Maybe doesn't always make the best decision. And it's kind of fun to play those characters. Maybe a little bit dip. So a
little bit less responsible than Nurse Faith, I would say, for sure.
Yes, much less responsible.
That's kind of makes up a big part of the movie, actually, is Mandy's irresponsibility. So that would be fun, I would say, to play.
Yeah, right. It is. So yeah, and then as far as myself personally, I don't know, I'm probably somewhere in between Nurse Faith and Mandy. Yeah. Probably, I don't know, depends on the day.
That's a good place to be.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions?
What? There's a question. I'm seeing a question here. Build any sandcastles. Now, we didn't build any sandcastles, but there was a huge sandcastle competition while we were there.
What?
Yeah, remember?
No, I don't remember.
Oh, were you not?
I might not have been there yet.
Oh, maybe
because you guys were all there a week before.
We were there a week before, Andy. Yeah. But they had this huge sandcastle. I didn't see them getting made, but I saw them when they were done. What? They were all lined up on the beach, like high up the beach, so the water couldn't get to them. Excuse me. And they were all like right in front of where we were shooting on the beach. So when you see a lot of those scenes on the sand, that's like behind there is all this long row of all these like really fantastic, sandcastles. They look amazing.
There was a lot of activity going on actually at the resort that we were at. Like the FIFA World Cup showed up one day. Did you get a picture?
I have a picture of that. Yeah.
You should post
you wanted me to post. Yeah, I just felt kind of dorky. Like, hey, here's the World Cup.
Yeah, they brought the World Cup by, and the president of Mexico stopped by. Like there was just a lot of activity. There was a cheerleading competition that happened. What else? It's true.
There was like always so much, and there was like, the craziest thing was that these companies would come right to stay there, and they all wore like the same like outfits and all these like uniforms. all working for like, you know, a plastics company or like a
Yeah.
cleaning, like a floor cleaning, and there'd be like thousands, there'd be like 1,000 of them.
Yeah, it was like
And they were all
reunions and
roaming the hotel and partying all night.
that's true,
Down,
actually.
like, up all night partying. These guys are like, we clean the best floor. We have the best cleaning. Like, I'm not kidding. They have these chants. We have the best cleaning product in the like in all of Mexico. And they'd be like going
And
crazy.
we were like, we have to be up in the morning.
Yeah, and they're like dancing and like singing, and they're like work for this clean. It was like really bizarre.
I didn't know it was a plastic.
Yeah, it was like the one that was
So
the
you
hardest
figured it out.
party. Yeah, because I was like, who are these guys? These guys like rock stars? Who are? And it's like, no, they work for this cleaning company. Like, is that weird? They work for like this. They grout. Like they're grouter. I don't know. Like
That must have been a nice vacation.
there was like so many of them. They're all like, and they have all the same uniforms, and they're just like partying all night, and they're like clean. I don't know, but anyways, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, there was a lot of activity.
And then did you ever send out an Instagram of the because you mentioned the cheerleading competition? There was like it was like the whole thing was inundated with these like
yeah, for about a weekend, it was just a lot of little girls with practicing, and their hair was all fancy.
yeah practicing. They like the practicing their like jumps and everything.
It was
and
actually really cool.
There was different
loved
levels
it.
of them. Some of them were good. Yeah. And they're like trying to do. They couldn't do. You know, they were young.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
It was really cute.
Yeah. So there was always something to do every day when we weren't working. There was always some activity or something happening.
And in fact, because there was so much going on, we had to kind of be on our toes in terms of where we could film.
That's
Because
true.
at the beginning, everything was swapped around. In fact, I actually thought the movie was starting to film a week later. This was kind of interesting, and nobody like I was like my agent I guess neglected.
Wait, what you thought you were?
I thought I was.
You thought you had a week to.
I thought I had a
chill
week,
out?
so I was just like, oh, you know,
Jeremy.
nobody told me. It wasn't. I had the date as like this. Nobody. My agent. I don't know what. There was something got miscommunicated, and so I like talked to the production manager, and he's like, starts telling me the dates, and he's like, well, yeah, you're gonna come here like March 6th or whatever it was. And I'm like, wait, sorry. And I was like, trying not to panic, but I was like, sorry, can you just say that date again? You mean, when was that? He's like, oh, you know, next week when you get your flight. I'm like, next week? And he's like, yeah. And then that was it. So I found out when I was filming that was the next week. I thought I had 2 weeks. So that was a bit of a shock. I had to start like getting on my lines pretty quick.
So maybe you identify with my character Mandy and her irresponsibility a little bit.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe that should have been.
maybe it's more you.
I see similarities between me and Mandy, actually, yeah.
At least you made it.
Yeah, I did make it.
You made it to Acapulco.
Yeah.
Unlike Mandy.
Unlike Mandy.
Oh, I'm listening to all these stories. And
Sorry, we went on a bit of a tangent.
No. I'm listening to all these stories and I'm thinking, how did you even get the movie made? You guys are having all this time.
It's a good point. There might, hey, you just tune in tomorrow. There might not be anything there. It might just be like black, like who knows?
Just us tanning
It's
in
just
the
us
pool.
at the pool. Like we don't know.
Yeah, it could be.
That could have been all that little clips. That could have been all we had.
Yeah.
The rest of it is just us by the pool. That's it.
Partying,
Yeah.
cheerleaders and the plastics guys.
Right.
Just gonna have to tune in to find out.
That's true. Yeah. Well, maybe the other actors did some work. Maybe it's just you. Maybe you two just had too much fun.
Maybe it's just
We're
us.
like barely, yeah.
Right. Oh goodness. Now, of course, we saw you both during this last season of When Calls the Heart, and we know that Jeremy's character in When Calls the Heart was not very nice, but he was, of course, highly attracted to Andrea's character. You know, we know that there was that thing going on.
Really? No.
Yeah, the
I
whole
think I made that pretty clear.
yeah. It was clear that he didn't have the most honorable intentions towards Faith. We know that.
No.
And so I know in this movie you guys are not playing. There's not that attraction. I mean, I realize it's completely different roles. But how was your interaction different in this? How did you relate in this movie, and how was it different than when you were acting in When Calls the Heart? Someone had asked me that.
Ooh, that's a good question.
Do
you want to?
Well, no, unfortunately, you know, Andrew and I love working together, but unfortunately, because of the way this movie's set, we actually don't get to. We don't have that many scenes together.
I was thinking even the scenes that we do have together, we didn't even shoot them together because of the way.
Yes, we do have
structured.
scenes together, but yeah, exactly.
So we were shooting like the same scene
It'll
on
make-
separate days.
Yeah, it'll make sense when you see the movie.
Yeah.
You know. But just know that we had lots of fun behind the camera as you tell all our stories. Sitting by the pool, going out to eat. Just by as you'll see in the way the structure of the film is done, it's just hard for our characters in this one to kind of interact too much because I'm trying to cover for her basically. Right. So you'll see what we mean when you watch. I mean, it's fun. That's part of the fun, but.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah, and then as far as One Calls the Heart, I don't know. It's always interesting playing. I like playing that dynamic when someone has an intention and the other character's trying to like quash that intention or trying to manipulate it. So I feel like there was like a bit of cat and mouse on One Calls the Heart that was really fun to play.
Yes. Yeah.
I like that.
I did take quite a bit of heat about that, but I mean, yes, it was.
And I feel like Jeremy was pretty reluctant to go on Twitter, right?
Because Andrew, that was all. Yeah.
You didn't know how.
I had no idea.
You.
Yeah. No, everybody was really fun. I mean, because my character gets pretty despicable.
Yeah.
By the end of it, so I appreciate everybody having fun with it, and I had fun with it too. So.
Yeah, I know that we would all love to see you come back to When Calls the Heart, even though I know, your character's been put in jail and all that, but it would be great to see, Ray Wyatt somehow be redeemed. I mean, you think, hey, if Gallen's redeemable, it seems like you never would have thought that Mr. Gallen was going to be redeemable. So if he's redeemable, I think anybody's redeemable.
You never know. Yeah,
that's true.
It could happen.
That would be a really nice development.
Yeah, I'm gonna really have to do some really.
You have a lot to make up for. You have a lot of apologies.
I think it's a multi-season arc of me making up for all that. I think so. That's what I hope.
Are there any other questions coming in from people?
We're lobbying for Wyatt's return. Oh, now I'm kind of.
Team Jeremy's got my back. Thank God.
Aw, that's nice.
You guys definitely passed the chemistry test. Do it together romance. I agree. That would be fun.
That would be really fun.
Well, you guys need to lobby Hallmark to see if we can get Andrew and I as the two leads in a movie. That would be fun.
That would be so
We'd
fun.
love that.
That would be great. I think all of us would be rooting for you, having you two as the leads, because I don't think, Andrea, I don't think you've done a lead role for Hallmark, have you?
A lead? No, not a lead.
So,
will, though.
Yes.
Oh, in our next movie that Hallmark is going to give us right after this hangout.
Right after this. Get a phone call.
Oh, thanks, Kate. That's nice.
Right.
You said you're the reason I joined Twitter.
Aww.
Isn't that nice? How does Andrew Dunbar? Well, we wanted to we were hoping Andrew would be here, but
Andrew decided to go camping.
He decided to go camping. What is that? I flew in from LA and he decides to leave town. What is this?
What was he thinking?
I know. No, he was because Andrew, he was we had so much fun with him.
Oh my gosh, we had so much fun.
We all went everywhere, us three together, everywhere we went.
Yeah, it's true.
Us three of us were together. So it was too bad he's not here. But he plays well, we can say this, right?
Yeah, because I think the pictures are on everything.
Yeah, Andrew plays Andrea's fiance.
Love interest.
Yes.
So
that's how he figures into it.
Right, and I got to interview him. So I will. It's not going to be like what we're doing, but I will have an interview posted before the movie airs tomorrow. So, and what was
perfect.
Yeah, and what was kind of neat about that is as I mentioned, that I kind of got 3 for the price of 1 on that day, because not only was Andrew there, but it just so happened that his little one was there, and Sarah Smith was also there. And so that was kind of cool how that happened. And so I even got to talk to her just a little bit. So when I type up the interview, there'll be at least a little blip from her, and because it was kind of a nice little moment that she came in and kind of backed up.
That's really sweet.
It was really nice.
They're a great couple. They're just a nice entertainment family right there.
Yeah, I haven't met her, so I don't know.
I've
heard of her, but I don't know her.
Oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I look forward to reading that.
Well, that's great. I didn't know. I didn't know that either. So that's great.
Right, and actually, Preston Vanderslice just got his interview back to me as well. And
so we're thinking we're probably gonna live tweet with Preston.
Yeah,
Okay.
tomorrow.
Andrew was obviously invited as well, but Andrew decided he had better things to do. Camping with his family.
Yeah.
But no, I think the three of us will probably be hanging
Yeah,
out tomorrow.
yeah. We'll probably both come over here again, I think.
Yeah.
Right? That's the plan.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Well, we will be live
You
tweeting
guys
all together.
can
So that'll be
see
fun.
Preston. It is really funny that how this movie worked out with all four of us having been on When Calls the Heart this season, this past season.
Yeah, that was funny. I was in the wardrobe fitting in Los Angeles with she was going through her phone. I was like, who is, because I didn't know anything. I was like, because I was kind of like aside, I was like in LA and I was just hearing these bits and parts. And
didn't know when you started.
I didn't know what,
didn't know when you were
it was
flying.
like, yeah, I didn't know I was fine, didn't know anything really. And then I asked, I was like, who's in this? And then she kept me like, and it was like one after the other was from When Calls the
So
Heart.
you're
It
just
was
like,
so
oh,
funny.
it's like a reunion.
Yeah, it was great. It was funny. It was awesome.
Yeah.
I was like, who plays? I was like, oh my great Andy. I was like, who plays your Dunbar? I was like, what? It's pretty funny. Like just played by like right hand man. It was good. That was funny.
That's amazing. Yeah, I'm so glad that all worked out. It's good.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you. I keep looking at this picture behind you, Andrea.
Yeah.
That's a really. I mean, it's a really nice piece of art. I mean, from what I can tell, is that just something?
I don't know if you can see this. It says Andrea on it, but the last name is not mine. So it's not my painting. It's actually one of my mom's friends is a really amazing artist. So I've got two pieces by her actually. And yeah, this one, it's the beach where I grew up actually.
Okay, all right. I was wondering about that. So it's really nice. I kept looking at it like
I will let her know.
yeah, really, it's really cool. Now I know there was someone who asked, what do you both enjoy most about acting?
Oh,
it's a hard question. I know.
Okay. Oh, that's such a hard question to answer because I honestly could say everything, but that's also not a very interesting answer. I love not knowing what's going to come next. I think the idea of a 9-to-5 job is really scary. Just knowing the predictability. I like the uncertainty. I like knowing that within the next year, I'm going to work with a bunch of amazing people that I don't know yet. I love just interacting with different personalities. I love the fact that as you grow as an actor, you kind of pick up bits and pieces from everybody you work with. So everyone influences you. And it's just a really fun life. I mean, what other job is there where one day you can be a lawyer and then a nurse and then an accountant and then getting married?
Yeah.
I mean, the possibilities are so endless. And that's a really exciting thing to just wake up and be like, oh, I'm going to be going on this crazy adventure. And that's what it is. It's just like a career of adventures is what it feels like.
Yeah, and I would also like the other thing I like about it is like the whole like the collaboration that you do on each set. So like each set becomes its own little like family. Like it sounds cheesy, but it's actually true.
It is
each
true.
one, especially something like this.
Yeah.
It's like a nicely like kind of enclosed experience that you do. You go away, or even if it's where you live, it's still the same thing. You have this like experience, and because it's so like intense and it's so collaborative, you guys you're on set working so closely together. Everything has to be done together. Like nothing works unless everybody is totally on the same page.
Yeah, and totally committed.
And totally committed. And so what happens is because it's so intense and it's for that enclosed moment in time, it really sticks in your mind as these like individual moments in your life, and that's a really cool part of the whole experience because you have these different like pockets of different movies, and then you'll like run into somebody on another one, and it has that connection. You know? So there's
and you kind of carry it with you. So yeah, it's just when you're an actor, it's like you're just carrying around a backpack full of memories and ideas and influences.
Exactly.
It's so fun.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel very lucky to be able to do that.
Yeah, and I also like the idea what you were saying, like you get to wear different hats. That's fun too. Like you get to do different things. Like you get to play a lawyer, you get to play whatever, like a doctor, whatever it might be.
Yeah.
All kinds on like a wide range. That's a big plus. That makes it interesting and fresh.
Totally. I agree.
Right. Now, I was also thinking, because Hallmark seems to really love doing sequels and sometimes even series. And so is this particular movie, Destination Wedding, do you think that it could potentially have sequels, maybe even a series of movies? Is that something you guys think would be a good thing?
I think it's an absolute possibility. I know if the ratings are good, anything can happen.
Yeah, that's the key. We need to rate.
If the
we need to
ratings
get the word out.
But I mean, I think that the experience in Mexico really worked out all around, and I think they would love to do that kind of project again.
I think
so yeah, should the ratings work in our favor, I think anything's a possibility.
I think they were a little bit late because this was the first. You'll see, guys, how this movie looks like on camera.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely amazing. It's stunning because
really
of like
is.
where we shot it. So it's gonna look a lot. You know, the way it looks is gonna be a lot different. I think it looks gonna pop compared to other Hallmark movies.
Yeah.
So, and they were also wondering how that was going to work down in Mexico, like in terms of like the process of actually filming. And it went so well that they're like, okay, well, we can film movies down here, no problem.
I can honestly say it was one of the best crews I have ever worked with, hands down. And I've worked with amazing people. And this crew was just so tight knit. Everything, we were always done on time. There was never all that overtime. I mean,
exactly.
Got it done
so smooth. Yeah.
It was very.
So I think they were just they did it. So it's not like they didn't think it was going to work, but they didn't know how well. It was a trial. It was a trial. Yeah. So now that was a success, and if that's combined with good ratings, I think they'll definitely make more for sure. Yeah. Now the question is whether it will be involved. We don't know because of you'll see the way this film is done. I don't know. We'll see. We'll have to cross our fingers.
Exactly.
But they might start shooting a lot more movies in Mexico regardless, not even like regardless of even a sequel to this, they might start shooting a lot more.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions coming in from people?
What do you see?
The promo shots, yeah, we did a lot of like the promo shots we did, those were like on the beach.
Yeah, during sunset.
Yeah. It
was gorgeous.
Yeah.
It really was.
You guys can see those. So like those aren't even retouched, like with the sun, like the orange sun coming in the background. And
it's true.
Like us like running in the sand.
I know the shots and the dresses and
holding hands running down the sand.
That was really fun actually.
That was fun.
Yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. And then what did you guys learn about the other members of the cast? What did you learn about each other during this filming? Was there anything that you learned that maybe you didn't know before?
Oh goodness. I learned that Alexa Pinavega is a powerhouse actor and new mommy, and she's fantastic. I was just so impressed with her ability to transition from mom mode to work mode, and she's such a brilliant actress, and I just had so much fun getting to play
warm person, like
such
so friendly and inclusive to everybody, the entire cast. Like knew everybody's name, talked with everybody, like would take time to like speak with everyone individually, you know, on set, like all the crew could speak Spanish too, so she was like speaking Spanish with everybody.
Yeah, it was really impressive.
Yeah, and she was all doing all of that while she had like her little like I don't know how old he was.
Oh
like
gosh,
how old Ocean is,
couple
like
months old.
Couple of months old, 3 months old, I think.
Yeah.
And like so having him there too, I mean, it was pretty impressive.
Yeah, she was impressive. But then everyone, I would say the whole cast, everyone was just, it was a good group. Everyone was really keen. Everyone was having the time of their lives because we were essentially on vacation and working.
A couple times. Who was the director? The director was James Head, who's one of our favorites. That was the first time. I don't know if you worked with him.
No, that's the first. Been reading from him for years, but yeah, this is my first movie with him.
He's done several Hallmarks.
Yeah.
But he was a great director. He was so much fun to work with.
Oh, he's brilliant.
In fact, one of my most favorite moments on the whole thing was when we finished. It was when we were doing that shot where some of those photos are taken from us on the beach.
Right.
And it was at the end of the day, and we was like, cut. And then all of a sudden I look behind and it's James, and we're like right by the ocean. He's like, that's it. I'm going in. And he's like taking his shirt off. He's got his taking
headphones.
Throws his headphones. He kicks off his like sandal. He just like kicks them off and just like starts like marching into the water, into the waves. It was awesome. Everybody's like cheering him on. It was really funny. He's great. He was so much fun.
He was a blast.
Yeah. And he was there, you know, when you're the director and the producer, like him and the producer, Annie, they were there like 2 or 3 weeks before anybody got there, prep, like scouting locations. So they had all been there, just them two kind of like figuring stuff out. So he was there for like so long, for like 6 weeks or like 5, something.
Probably 6, yeah.
Yeah, 6 weeks,
Yeah, it was great. It was all around everyone, I don't have a complaint in the slightest.
No.
Wow.
You did bring back souvenirs. Why don't you grab your souvenir?
Our matching souvenirs.
We have matching souvenirs that we got because we weren't actually we didn't have. Here we go. A skull.
It's our Acapulco Day of the Dead Skull.
Day of the Dead Skull.
You have a matching one.
I have the same one, yeah. And here's a fun story about this. This little, she might not look it, but Andrea is the most cutthroat negotiator on the planet. She was like, you should have seen her like get this woman down on this, buying these 3 skulls. It was amazing. She was haggling. She was like, oh no, I saw that for like way cheap. Like, oh, are you kidding me? I saw that for get 2 of those on the other side of the market for like half that. Then she'd like go to them and be like, well, she said I could get that for half that. Well, it's up to you. I can buy it from it.
It's true.
Yeah. Well, you can do it. You know how to do it.
One of the guys at the market shook my hand because he was like, "You're very tough," and I was like, "Thank you."
Yeah, they respected her. I was impressed. I would have paid like twice that for. I bought mine off the back of her skill. Yes. Yeah, I was very impressed.
Oh wow, that reminds me. My mom was like that. I can remember. It's been many years since I've been in Mexico, but my mother actually got someone to come down from like $70 on this necklace or something, all the way down to $5. It was crazy.
Nice.
Do that. And so
we were in a touristy area, so they were trying. So I was like,
she knew.
It's kind of a game. I don't know.
They were on tour.
They all liked it. Once you show like we're gonna have this conversation. It's good. Right. We got lots of stuff. We did a group trip to the market. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So many good memories.
Wow. It certainly sounds like a fun filming experience, and I think it's going to be a really fun experience for us.
Someone said, was Nina? Yeah, our writer Nina was on set with us. Shout out to Nina. She's amazing. Fantastic writer of this project.
Is Nina watching? Hi, Nina, if you're there.
Yeah. But yeah, it was actually, we should get her to tell the story, but this movie is based off a real story that actually involved her.
Yeah, this is I can't believe we haven't mentioned that. Yeah,
it's pretty incredible. We should find a way.
Nina is such a great storyteller too, like the writer of this movie.
She really is.
And she's so much fun to have on set. She tells the story really well, like about what happened in real life. This is based on her experience.
Yeah, there was a Mandy and a Jason.
Yeah,
and
didn't show up to their destination wedding.
Yeah,
and just left the others to handle it. So
she was like, I'm going to turn this into a movie. And she did.
And her and Annie, the producer, they talked about it, and then here we are. So
yeah, exactly.
Wow. I didn't realize that, so I'm glad that someone brought that up, because I wouldn't have even thought about that. That's pretty cool. That's great.
Well, I didn't know that either until the producer Annie told me that on set. I didn't know that. So
yeah,
it's pretty fun. So keep that in mind when you're watching.
Yeah, and Nina, she's on Twitter too. I'm sure she'll live tweet with us. She's a blast.
Oh yeah, she's been tweeting about the movie. I've seen her. She's tweeted probably about almost as often as you guys have. I think I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So that's awesome.
Yeah. So that's good. And I know
she's excited. She's definitely excited to try to. She's definitely excited to try to get a sequel going. I know that. She'd be happy to. So she's the one who's going to try to swing it, I think, in terms of writing it. And so we'll see what happens.
Right.
Oh, that would be good. That would be great. Well, I know that I'm certainly looking forward to it. And I'm sure that all the viewers are looking forward to it. I know that we've been hearing about this for quite some time. And I know that sometimes, I think the thing that's interesting is sometimes, at least in the U.S., I don't know how it is in Canada, but in the U.S., we sometimes have a very negative view of Mexico just because we hear of all the bad stuff that's going on and all that. And then to hear to see how beautiful it was, all the pictures that you guys were posting, the experiences you had, it gave me a much more positive perception of Mexico. I don't.
Yeah, I actually, I have something I've been meaning to kind of write up about this, and I was so inspired by our crew and how hardworking they were and how much they cared about this project.
Yeah, just to be clear, everybody we were working with was from Mexico.
Yeah,
like only the director crew and the producers were,
and our script supervisor and one.
There was a couple of people, but like almost everybody was from Mexico, and they were so.
And they worked so hard, and and what really inspired me is there was, sometimes it may be a language barrier, and it didn't matter because we were all in it to make the same project come to life. And it was just so neat that even if barriers are presented when it comes to art and film, you can work together toward this common goal. And when it comes to filmmaking, to making movies, we all speak the same language. We're like, a mark's the mark, the camera's there, here's the lighting's the lighting.
Yeah.
And it was just really neat to be able to interact with everybody in that dynamic, because everyone there was honestly fabulous.
And there were lots of fun, like easygoing and but professional all at the same time. So it was great.
The best
Great
group.
combination.
Yeah, so I have nothing but respect.
And I think that's also why they're going to be looking to making more movies there, honestly, because they were so
because
impressed.
the crew was so amazing.
The producers were really overly impressed by the crew. So I think,
Totally.
Yeah.
And I'd go back to Mexico in a heartbeat.
Yeah.
Buy me a ticket. I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm not surprised. I know, because you and you guys were always afterwards. I mean, it was clear you wanted to go back. You missed being there. You missed the group. You guys were still tweeting about that, about how much you missed being there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and we miss it, and we miss the people, the crew. We still have a big group chat going, so everyone was chatting today, and we just made like the most amazing friendships and connections. It really was special, and that's what one of the other things that kind of goes back to our previous question that I just love about this job is that ability to make those connections with people, and it really brings all different types of people from all different types of backgrounds together.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, if I remember right, you had a giveaway going, Andrea, isn't that right?
Yes, that's right. I had a giveaway. Wait, I have the names in my pocket.
Oh, are you going to announce the winner?
I forgot. Thank you for the reminder, Ruth. Yes, I have the winner. So Brooklyn Designs, who a lot of the lovely jewelry that she makes in this movie, because Alexa and I both wear a lot of her pieces in this movie. So we decided as a fun little, side project to promote the movie, we would give 2 pieces away. So it'll be the winner, the first prize gets the necklace that I wear at the end of the movie, and second place gets a pair of earrings that I wear. And I have the winners right here.
Oh, I didn't know this was happening.
I wonder if they're watching. That would be really exciting.
Type in if you,
Type.
If
I don't even know.
I don't know if they're probably, they might not be there.
Okay, so the person, so our grand prize winner, who's gonna win the lovely necklace, is Bobby Shoot. Bobby is number 1. Bobby's a Hardy.
She's a Hardy.
Yep.
And our second place winner is also a Hardy, which I was so excited when I saw these names because I'm like, I recognize these people. This is great. Is Little Shmida, who's Bree on Instagram, and she does all the amazing arts.
Woo!
So Bobby is first and Bree is second.
Wow, that is cool. That is so cool.
I know, I'm really
That's
excited.
a fun idea.
I've got to put that.
Yeah.
I've got to post that.
Right. Well,
Yeah.
I figured you posted. I remembered. It was like I thought, okay, we haven't announced that yet. Let's make sure we announce that, and then you can post it. But that's really cool. That's
Right.
exciting.
I know. Okay. Well, thank you for the reminder. That's got to go up, and we've got to contact them to get the prizes. I'm so excited. The prizes are so good. So.
Right. Well, that was a great. I mean, we are very grateful.
The movie. We're wearing it.
Yeah, we are very grateful. I mean, Andrea, it was great. How you just kind of came up with that idea. We were talking, and you came up with that idea, and that was great that you did that. And
Yeah.
And Brooklyn Designs.
And Brooke from Brooklyn Designs too is amazing. She was just collaborates on a lot of Hallmark projects. So yeah, well, likewise.
All right. Well, so was there any other last minute questions? I know we're kind of wrapping things up here.
Yeah.
Is there any?
I'm seeing, way to go, Bobby. Any last minute questions? Are you able to see them on your phone?
Probably the people that you just announced, their friends are going to go and tell them, and they'll probably know about it before you even announce it.
That's okay. They should do that.
Right.
I will get on it, though. I will post it after this.
Right.
Oh, yeah, Andrew, you've got your Etsy.
I know. I started.
People are buying them.
I know. It's really cool.
Kelsey bought one.
Yay. Nice. Thank you, Kelsey. Oh, that's exciting. Etsy Queen. I know. I just kind of, I started an Etsy account 2 years ago, and I've always kind of made things, and I love kind of designing things in my spare time. and I'm in between projects right now. So I was like, okay, and I have some things, and I've been making necklaces with one of my good friends. So I was like, I'll just throw them up and see what happens. And I was like, oh, this is really,
I know,
really
not
cool.
too bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're definitely gonna watch. We love Kevin and Pascal's movies. They're coming up after us.
I know, it's so exciting.
There's such great chemistry.
So Pascal and Kevin, and then Jack Wagner's got one, and then Paul Green, it's also Paul's birthday.
I know, I didn't know that. I found that out today, that Paul has the same birthday.
Carson and Wyatt. I feel like there's a good meme.
What's going on there?
There's
That's so
gotta
funny.
be a good meme of that picture, when it was all intense.
Yeah, like
you guys.
Yeah. That's
Sure,
isn't that
the
funny
same
that we both have the same birthday?
I
I
love
didn't
it.
know that. I ran into Paul on the street, like just in Yaletown last week.
Yeah, that's right. He
Yeah.
was here.
And in terms of next projects, I'm actually here going to film the sequel to it's called Summer in the Vineyard. So it's the sequel to Autumn in the Vineyard. I don't know, with Rachel Lee Cook. Yeah, so I'm doing that. I play her brother. And so I'm going up to Penticton, which is in the Okanagan wine country, to film. So another good
Wine country.
Jeremy,
gig. Yeah.
Although I'm not in this one that much, I'm more of like a secondary character.
Tough year you're having, just doing vacation movies.
I know, that's what I'm
You know.
thinking. Jeremy, are you really doing any work? What are you playing? I don't, is he just going to Mexico?
That's a good question.
Oh boy.
Just a professional vacationer.
Yeah, Marcus is in that too. Yeah,
Right.
Marcus Rosner is in that movie.
Oh, that's cool. That's exciting.
Yeah.
And Andrea, do you have any upcoming projects that you can mention?
I actually do. I've got a little independent project that I will be sure to give you guys more information about when that's available. And then just sort of looking forward to When Calls the Heart, which will be coming back. And
When is that
Supergirl
supposed to start?
This summer.
What month?
August.
August?
Mm-hmm. So
Is that what
that's sort of the long term, but yeah, I've got a couple little things on the go, kind of in between that should be fun, smaller things.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, that all sounds good. Well, we hope that somehow we convince Hallmark that Ray Wyatt needs to come back and.
Agreed. I think you need every show needs a villain. Sorry, but it's
right. Because Gowan's not as much.
Well, they might try to keep it a secret from you guys. That one episode, I just pop
up
like, I'm back. You thought I was gone. I pulled a few strings and I'm back in Hope Valley.
Oh.
Or you can always move Hope Valley down to Mexico, I guess, right? You guys could all take a vacation down to Mexico.
Oh my gosh, group trip to Mexico. Oh, yeah. Sign me up. For one episode.
Yeah, Chesapeake Shores films, I think, on Vancouver Island. Right?
Yep, and they're shooting right now.
Yeah, my good friends, one of my best friends is married to the lead actress Megan. I'm good friends with Megan, Awry.
Yeah, and Andrew Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a small little family.
No, this is a good idea. Just Kate said, Jerry, you can play Ray Wyatt's nicer cousin. What if I play his twin? Why don't we just really bring out his nice twin? That is the way to do it. Then I could be nice. Then I could
Ray Wyatt and something else Wyatt.
Well, see, that was suggested when I interviewed Andrew Walker. That actually was suggested that they could bring Andrew Walker back as his good twin.
I think it's a bit much. A bit soap opera.
Yeah.
Opera.
So. Never know. All right. Well, I think it was you guys really shared so much. I can't even tell you how much it meant to me that you were willing to take a chance. I mean, I know we know each other, but getting all this technical stuff set up and you guys being the first ones that I interviewed like this really meant a lot that you guys were willing to take a chance on doing this too, and you guys were great to talk to.
No, of course. Thank you for bearing with us. I think it was the technical difficulties were on our end.
Yeah, it was on our end. So thank you,
sure
Ruth, for trying to crack that code, but it was all our problem, I think. So thank you, and thank you for organizing that. I think it was a success, I would say.
Yeah, I think we should do more of these. I really love doing the live.
Oh yeah.
I love this. Right. It's really fun.
Well, and what I'll do is I'll be getting this.
Yeah. And then will people be able to tune in later to watch this?
Yes, I will actually be getting it. It will be available later on tonight. I've just got to get it the YouTube saves it somehow, and then I just have to go back and make sure.
And edit out the 15 minutes where we didn't know what was
right.
Yeah, that's going to be the Easter egg that you guys got. We were there early to see us all.
See us panicking.
Right.
With no voice, no sound.
Right, right.
Trying to log into like the
What's my
iPad.
Gmail? I need to download
Downloading an app, yeah.
But we did, and it was fine.
Yeah. Oh, I know it can be difficult. I fully understand, but at least we were able to make it work, which makes me feel good. It's like, okay, we can do more of these, because I certainly enjoyed it. I was glad, and it's a great promotion for the movie. You guys are wonderful to talk to. It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Oh,
thank you, everybody. I just want to say thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Like I'm seeing from Missouri, from Chicago.
Oh, that's amazing.
All around the country and all around the world, hopefully. Maybe there's some people from, our neck of the woods up here, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Right.
Well, maybe not. We don't get Hallmark.
I know, we don't
When are they going to get Hallmark channel?
Well, they show, it's syndicated, so other networks
Other
pick it up,
networks,
and then it ends up on Netflix.
Yeah,
but you have to wait. You don't
and
get
it'll
to
also
watch
be on
it live.
CBC season 3. It's starting in Canada.
That's
season
right.
3
In Canada,
pretty
we're
soon.
very far behind on When Calls the Heart. So whenever you meet Canadian parties or fans, they tell you things, and you're like, what? Oh, you haven't seen any of the new stuff
Right,
yet.
right,
Okay, so you have to always keep that in mind.
They won't have seen me at all.
Yeah, they don't even know you
Yeah,
exist.
yeah.
In Canada, you just,
Right. All right. Well, Jeremy, again,
Stay on.
happy birthday, Jeremy. Enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you. Thank you.
And I'm
thanks,
so
Andrea,
glad.
for my gift.
You're very welcome.
Yes. Yes. And thank you to all the people who tuned in, because that means a lot to me too. And I'll be sure to tweet this out later so that people who missed it, because I know there were many people who said they couldn't tune in live, but they wanted to see it, so they'll get a chance to see it.
Yeah, you guys who watched today, if you guys don't mind tweeting out when we post the link, just so other people can see who weren't able to watch it live. If you guys can all tweet out the link, that would be great.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll be back because we'll be hanging out tomorrow, so I'm sure you'll see us on Periscope.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll be hanging out. We'll be on Twitter. Tweet us.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, I think
Thank you so much, Ruth. Always so nice chatting to you.
Well, it was nice chatting with both of you. That was fun. I think that was the first time I got to talk to two people at once too. So that was nice too. So
awesome.
You guys, so that was great. So I will let you guys go, and thank you again. And we will look forward to Destination Wedding tomorrow night, Hallmark Channel. And I'm not sure the times, depending on what part of the country you're in. It all depends, because we get it where I am. I get it early.
9/8 Central.
Right. Yeah.
9/8 Central. Yeah.
Yeah, and then if you're on the West Coast like me and you get direct TV, then you actually are getting it at 6 p.m. So that's what we actually, it's weird.
Nice.
It's so I'm always getting a tweet with the East Coast, as well as that I could turn around and tweet with the West Coast too if I want to. So that's kind of and so there's a lot of
West Coast too, so I think that'll be the same. Yeah.
Yeah. So. All right. Well, we will look forward to seeing you guys.
Okay. Well, we'll see you guys tomorrow. We'll tweet with you guys tomorrow.
See you guys all on Twitter. Thank you so much for tuning in.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Thank you for coming out. Thanks, Ruth.
Thank you,
All right,
Ruth.
bye-bye.